The Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you as always by patreon.com/JuRY. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Justin Robert Young podcast. JuRY Daily, back in the studio, back in the high life again. Very excited to be back in the Bay. Man, rolled right off the plane, went right into the studio, podcasting all day, writing all night. Got a lot going on. Real quick, for those of you who aren't aware, I do a card game designing here and again. A couple years ago, we made a game called The Contender, the game of presidential debate. It has been lauded the internet wide, and because it is Independence Week, we are now selling them super cheap. So if you head on over to thecontender.us, you can get our base deck, 500 cards, for only $17.76. Get it? $17.76, cheapest we ever sold it. Available now, thecontender.us, and we have all these little mini expansions. They're about all these like fun little things, TV and movie president quotes, Hamilton quotes from the debates last year, in 2016. All sorts of crazy stuff. All the fired Trump staffers are in one expansion. Mini expansions now. Buy one, get one free all week. Just use code ROCKETS at the end of it. Enough shilling. Let's get into the talking. I want to talk about the city next to the city that I live in. That's San Francisco. San Francisco is a fine place. It is dealing with a few issues. So I'm gonna go a little bit cause and effect in that order. We're going to go cause and effect. So let's start with the cause. These are both stories from the SF Gate, San Francisco Gate. Here we go. 20 pounds of human waste dropped on San Francisco street corner. That's a big pound of shit. Are there many pounds? Oh, wait, that's a big pile of shit? Is that the line from Jurassic Park? The foul odor permeating from a massive bag of human excrement sludge left on a street corner in San Francisco's Tenderloin district Saturday. The horrendous smell and sight quickly gained notoriety when a Reddit user posted a screenshot of a report made to San Francisco's Citizens app for identifying crime. Quote, 20 pounds of feces dumped onto sidewalk. Nancy Alfaro, a spokesperson for 311, says that 3 reports of the human waste on the corner of Cedar and Polk were made to the city's customer service number and app on Saturday. The customers did report a large amount of waste. Here's the picture. It's gross. It's really fucking gross. Let me just say this about the Tenderloin. Tenderloin's a interesting neighborhood. It is something that if you want, you ever watch them old movies where it's like New York back in the 70s, and everything's falling apart, and there's just people kind of just standing around on the street, just sort of aimlessly shifting. The way I would describe the Tenderloin is, it's phase 1 of a supervillain's plan. Like, there are so many homeless people out in the Tenderloin. And to be honest, I don't even know if I would necessarily call them homeless as much as I would say that they're probably junkies. I think there's like a needle exchange out over there. But it is... I always just kind of feel like there's just so many aimless people. And aimless makes it seem like I have an agenda talking about them. I'm just trying to describe a lot of people in tattered clothing walking around. at all times during the day and night. How would you describe that? I always just kind of feel like I said before, it's like phase one of a supervillain's plan, that at some point there's going to be some like whistle blown or some kind of signal, some weird signal's going to go out and the riot will commence. It's scary. It's terrifying. There is one issue that I think should be focused on in the Bay Area, and it's homelessness. It's ugly to look at. It's ugly to watch. And God knows how much it has to do with the fact that there's a 20-pound bag of shit on the side of the road. Because at least if you have a 20-pound bag of shit, somebody had to put it in a bag. Because I'll guarantee you this. There's at least 20 pounds of shit on the streets of San Francisco right now that nobody has bagged. So in a lot of ways, you could look at that 20-pound bag of shit and say, improvement. I know nationally and possibly internationally, this is being looked at as like, oh, look at how filthy and disgusting San Francisco is. But as somebody who's walked past all these streets and walked through the Tenderloin and walked through the Mission and have played many, many rounds of the game, animal or human shit, at least this is in a bag. Now, putting 20 pounds of shit out on the side of the road during the hotter months in this area, fairly cruel. But hell, baby steps. Baby steps to the bag. Baby steps to the bathroom. I mean, you got to figure that comes out of a porta potty or something. And somebody's just like trying to make a deadline. They're just trying to make their way home. Maybe they're trying to go see one of the World Cup games. You know, it was like Brazil, Mexico was yesterday morning. Somebody's cleaning out all the porta potties. And it's just like, all right, well, I could bring it to the place where I'm supposed to bring it, but fuck. Why do these games have to start so early? 7 o'clock in the morning? Just toss it on the side of the road. Let's get the fuck out. I want to see Neymar. It's bad out here, though, man. It is. It is not a good scene. And it's starting to take a toll. Here's the other story that came from the SF Gate. San Francisco's appalling life repels residents, and now it's driven away a convention. Which adds a bit of a leading headline here. By Mattier and Ross. So I guess a reporting tandem here. This is, I'm going to read directly. It's a move. I don't know why I'm reading this in like the television voice, but here it is in the television voice. It's a move that's alarming San Francisco's biggest industry. A major medical association is pulling its annual convention out of the city, saying its members no longer feel safe. It's the first time that we've had an out-and-out cancellation over the issue, and this is a group that's been coming here every 3 or 4 years since the 1980s, says Joe D'Alessandro, president and CEO of SF Travel, the city's convention bureau. D'Alessandro declined the name of the medical association, saying that the bureau still hopes to bring it back in the future. They went to go visit the association and said that they were committed to this year and to 2023, but nothing in between and nothing thereafter. After that, they told us they're planning on going elsewhere. I believe it's Los Angeles. Now, I would like to shit on San Francisco and leave it in a 20-pound bag on the side of Polk and Cedar, but it's an issue out here in Oakland, too. You see the homeless encampments. And to be honest, I don't know how... Let me ask this. Because this is... I've done a little bit of research on this, but I'm curious. This is the best part about having this kind of show that is now daily. So we get to explore little micro topics. If you are somebody who has researched or in some way has a connection to homelessness crises, cities that have rebounded from homelessness epidemics, I want to hear from you. Because I really, it is the number one philanthropic thing that I care about. And I want to lobby and donate and put forth to my time to try to advocate for radical change, because it seems like there is a tremendous amount of problems here. And the more I look into it, the more I think that it is such a vexing issue, because everybody's got something to bitch about and everybody's right. It's correct that we have a shit ton of money that came into this area that has driven up prices for rent, prices for ownership, for a home ownership, right? It's correct that the city has continued to put in more and more restrictive building codes to the point where now the only place that it makes sense to build houses and apartments for financially is for the super wealthy. So what do? We're going local on this. But hopefully somebody else, if you are familiar with homelessness in general, or the Bay Area in specific, go ahead and email me, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Now, I am just now realizing that I am the worst person in the world. Yes, I mean that very specifically in the Keith Olbermann MSNBC show sense. I am the worst person in the world, because I decided, if there's one thing that has not changed as we have shifted the format from this show, is that I am terrible at pairing topics or in any way having an idea how the show itself will gel together. Case in point, I literally just did 10 minutes about homelessness in the area in which I live. And I have decided to pair that conversation with emails about getting upgraded to first class. He's the worst person in the world. Fuck you, gerbs. Oh my God, what a 20-pound bag of shit I am. Oh God. You guys emailed strong on this one, so I gotta read this. We discussed yesterday about the fact that I had a first class upgrade, and I offered it to my wife. She refused the first class upgrade and then was very mad about it. So I asked everybody what you would do. Sean wrote in, I proposed to my fiance in Savannah, Georgia, and on the Savannah to Atlanta flight home, I got upgraded. The girl that just accepted my proposal sat in the back. It was supposed to be a short flight, but we sat on the runway for 45 minutes. My excuse was I was running out of my gold status and I wouldn't get many upgrades going forward. Plus, it was such a short flight, it shouldn't have mattered. The very first upgrade I cleared, I turned down because I was traveling with my now fiance. It was somewhat hollow because she only flew the first leg and I had an upgrade on the second. Since these incidents, she has refused me giving her the upgraded ticket when we don't clear together. It has only happened once or twice, although through strange Delta Twitter direct magic, we have seen some nice upgrades that we shouldn't have gotten, specifically Atlanta to Mexico, which came with lounge access, which was the best. Wait a minute, Sean. Are you telling me that if you flirt with these airline Twitter accounts, you can get upgrades? Just kidding. I've tried to do that a lot. I once out and out begged the United Twitter account. Yeah, I slid into the United Twitter account's DMs begging for a global entry invite, which is like their invite only, super elite for life mega perks program that they only give to people that are just, a 1K customers for like 10 years. Then you just get the engraved invite that you are allowed inside the secret society. They have their own check-in. It's amazing. If you're global elite, please email in. I want to just fantasize about your life. Chris writes, I love the new Daily Show format. This way we get more of your rants and humor from you, which is great. I'm also a Patreon subscriber, and I listen to Politics X3 as well. Also, when you tear apart bad articles, it's great too. Can you do more of those? Absolutely. If you see an article that fucking bothers you, email it into me. I'm always willing to tear apart shitty articles. It is the thing that I do the most in my personal life, and I would love to bring it to you guys on a daily format. James writes, so I probably give it. I would probably give the upgrade to my wife only because if I don't, I'll never hear the end of it. Even though I would benefit more by being a bigger person, and I would probably drink more than her. But as the saying goes, happy wife, happy ending, or something like that. And finally, Buck writes, I was going to criticize you for not giving up your seat to your wife, but I'm the asshole with 2 divorces. So what the fuck do I know? Well, when you put it like that. That about wraps it up for JuRY Daily today. Thank you so much for showing up. A reminder, email justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Cheap Contenders, thecontender.us. Use code ROCKETS. You get 1776 decks and buy one, get one free mini expansions. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat @JustinRYoung. And, of course, join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Big unsolicited plug. If you're in the Bay Area this weekend, Dark Chic in the chat room right now, the man who runs Hood Slam. Gonna have a hell of a show on Friday. We are bringing an army to that one. Till next week, tomorrow. I still got the next week thing. Please don't die.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.